Hi everyone, this is Marcia. I'm back with another video. This time it's going to be a tutorial for this red, white, and blue spiral, like a pinwheel design pendant. We'll need Superduos for this in red, white, and blue, or the colors of your choice. We'll need 11 seed beads, and I'm going to use the Miyuki Silverline crystal. And we'll also need some 15 seed beads, which is also Miyuki Silverline crystal. We're going to need our beading thread, and this is my go-to, the Wildfire in the 0.006, and I'm using frost. You can use whatever beading thread or color of your choice that will match your beads. I'm using a size 10 beading needle, and I'll thread probably a wingspan of the thread onto. We'll need scissors to cut the thread. We're going to need a wire guardian, and we're going to need a jump ring to put on that wire guardian for your chain or cord or whatever. Scissors. You're going to need pliers to open the jump ring. Perhaps if you use a closed jump ring, you can just add it at the same time you put the wire guardian on, and you don't need the pliers. I am going to keep this on standby just in case it's an awl, in case I miss a Superduo that has a clogged hole. I will attempt to get that loose. I believe that's it. If I think of anything else, I will talk you through it as I go through the video. So I'm going to stop and clear away, get my beads out, thread my needle, and then we'll get started making this pendant. Okay, well, we are back, and I have my beads laid out. We won't need these till later. So I wonder if I should zoom in a little bit. Zoom in just a little bit, see how this goes. Alrighty. What we are going to do is, on your thread, take a red, white, and blue bead and pick that up and do that 3 times. Got a new bead mat, it's a light color, and I've got it down on the silicone mat. Let's see, I don't know if this is going to prevent it from... Nope, I don't think it's going to prevent it. I bought the silicone mats to prevent this thing from moving around, but I don't think it's working. So I'll just have to be mindful that this thing moves around. Alrighty. So red, white, and blue. Three times. And that's what you'll have. And you're just going to bring that down to the end of your thread. Leave about 4-6 inches to weave in later. And then take your thread around all of those beads one more time to reinforce. I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope you all had a good weekend. I'm struggling with these beads. I'm trying to keep it in frame and yet close enough. And I did not, and I said I would, put my magnifiers on, but they're not here with me, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do the best I can with what I've got here. So, all right, we have got 2 passes, and what I'm going to do is go back through that first red bead and pull that. So that's what you should have. You should have a red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue. So from there, we're going to go up the hole of that first red bead and switch directions. That's what happens when you work with these type of beads. When you make your turn, one time you're going clockwise, the next time you're doing counterclockwise. So, all right, So here we are. Let's focus. Come on. We were coming out of the bottom red bead. We went through the top of the red bead, and now we are going to work in a counterclockwise position. And what we need to do is pick up whatever bead is in front of us. So I'm coming out of the red. I'm going to be going into the blue. And I'm not in focus. Going into the blue. I'm coming out of the red. I'm going to be going into the blue. So you want to pick up a blue. Okay. And go through the blue. Sorry about the hand. Okay. So that's what you have. So we're leaving a blue and going into a white. So you want to pick up a white and go in that top bead of that white Superduo bead. And that's what you have. Going into a red, I want to pick up a red. And that's what you have. So we're back to the blue. I want to pick up a blue and go into a blue. Going into a white. I'm going to pick up a white. Going into a red, and you're going to pick up a red. Okay, you can already see the pattern forming, that little bit of turn. Going into a blue, we want to pick up a blue and go through that next hole of the Superduo bead. And just keep pulling it tight. So we're coming out of a blue, going into a white. I'm going to pick up a white. Okay. We've got one more. Coming out of a white, going into a red. I'm going to pick up a red. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go through that blue bead as well. Okay, and then we want to change direction by going through the top hole of that same blue bead that we're coming out of. So that is what it looks like, and this one is this one right here. So it'll be the red on the top. We've gotten to this point. So between the blue, we want to add two. This, whatever color we're coming out of, we want to pick up two of that same color and go into the top hole of the next bead, which would be, I'm getting caught up. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. Will be two. And if you compare it to this, these are the two we just added. Okay, so we are coming out of a red, so we're going to pick up two red and go into the top of the next bead, which is a white. Okay, so you just added the two red. You're coming out of the white. You want to pick up two whites and make sure you check the holes of the Superduo beads. Make sure they're not clogged. Okay, so we're coming out of a blue. We're back to blue, and my mat's moving. Okay, well, and these silicone mats are not cheap. And I purchased them thinking this would do the job. I'm going to have to add little rubber feet to my mat. Alrighty, so we're coming out of a blue. I've picked up two Superduo blue, or two blue Superduo, and added those. So we're coming out of the red. I want to pick up two of the red Superduo and go into the top of the next bead, which is a white. Okay. Coming out of the white, I want to pick up two white and go into the top of the blue, or the top of the next. Let me throw thread's caught on my scissors. What was I saying? Whatever, if you're using all one color, then it doesn't matter. Just pick up 2 beads and go into the top of the next bead. But in this case, we're coming out of a blue, so I want to pick up 2 blue. And go into the red. Tail thread's getting caught. Okay, so this is what we've got. We're coming out of a red, going into a white. But we're going to, whatever color we're coming out of is the color of the bead that we want to pick up right now. So coming out of that red, I'm picking up 2 red, going into the top of the next bead, which is white. So I'm going to pick up 2 white Superduo beads and go back into that first blue bead that started the row, right there. Okay, and that is what we have. So we're looking good so far. So we are in. I'm going to advance one more, go through the first blue of the first 2. See these 2 here? Go through that same hole, the bottom hole, because we're going to change direction, so we need to get to the top to turn around. Okay, so I stopped at this bead, but I advanced one more bead by going through the hole. Let's stay in focus because I'm too close. So we're coming out of the bottom hole of this first of 2 of the 2 blue beads that we added, and we're going to go back up the top of that blue bead. And pull your thread tight. So now we're working in a counterclockwise position. And what you want to do is pick up an 11/0 seed bead, whatever color, whatever brand you choose, and go clockwise. Or if you turn your work, if you can turn your work, you can work clockwise. But I'm going to keep this in the position where the pattern is red, white, and blue, red, white, and blue. So I added a seed bead between this blue bead and this white bead. So I'm coming out of the top hole of one of those 2, the bead on the right, and I am going to pick up a white bead and go through the next top hole, or the next, top hole of the next white bead. Go through the next top hole of the white bead. Does that make sense? But you see what I did. I came out of here, picked up a white one, and went through here. So what we're going to do in between each 2 or sets of 2 beads is add an 11/0. We want to add an 11/0, and that looks small. An 11/0 seed bead. So between this white and that red. So we've got that. And then in between each set of 2, you're going to pick up the same color and work another one. So pick up another 11/0 and go through that. Go from the red to the blue, and then where you have 2 of the same color, you pick up that same color and work a bead in between those 2, and that'll sit on top. So pick up another 15/0 not 15-0. Why do I keep saying 15-0? You pick up an 11-0 and go over to the next bead in line, which will be the white. And then you pick up a white bead and place one in between those two white beads, like that. And then you're going to pick up an 11-0 and go through that top hole of the red. Then you're going to pick up a red bead, because you've got those two there. You want to put one in between, like that. Again, pick up an 11-0 and go to the top of the next bead. And now we've come to another group of two, which is blue. So you pick up a blue bead and go through the next bead in line. Okay, got one more 11-0 to put in. So pick up one and go through the white bead. I shouldn't say one more, you have another. The next bead in line would be an 11-0, so you put that there. And then we've come to two white beads, so you're going to pick up one white and put it through the next bead in line. There we go. Again, pick up another 11-0 and go to the next bead. And now we've come to a group of two red. So pick up a red and go into the next red bead. Pick up an 11-0 and go into the next bead in line. Now we're at two blue, so you want to pick up a blue. This is actually easier than I thought. When I said I really have to, it'd been so long since I had done this pendant. I thought, oh, that looks complicated, but yeah, it's really not, is it? And it's very pretty. So, okay, we've made it all the way around. We put our last Superduo bead on. So we want to go through the next 11-0, the next white Superduo bead, and through the top Superduo bead, the white one. So we'll be coming out like that. Okay. So we have got all of the Superduos in place. If you see, we're almost done. Right now we want to switch to 15-0s. Let me get these out of the way so I don't confuse the two. 15-0s are smaller. Okay, I've got my 15-0s. Now watch me start calling these 11-0s. Okay, we're going to do embellishing, which if you don't want to do this, you don't have to do this step. You can just go right to the top and add your wire guardian. It's a much cleaner look, but I did it on the first, so I'm going to do it on this one as well. So I'm coming out of the bottom hole of the right one, and I want to pick up 3. They are really tiny. I'm going to pick up 3 15-0s and go through the top hole of the same bead you're coming out of. And that works those 3 beads. And you want to do that all the way around, adding 3 beads to each side of the top bead, all the way around. So let's do a few more together, and then I'll leave you to do it on your own. So again, pick up 3 15 O's. Oh my goodness. And go back through that bottom hole. And then from here we can advance over to the next color by going through that next white bead. Okay, I did it all in one. I'm impressed that that happened. Okay. I was coming out. Okay, I did my 3 on this side, went through the top of the bead, added 3 more 15 O's, went through the bottom hole, okay, of this white bead. Now I'm going through the top hole of this white bead, through the 11 O seed bead, and through the top hole and the bottom hole of the next 2 beads. So the top hole of this red seed bead, Superduo, and the bottom hole of the next one right there. So this is where we're going to come out. Oh my goodness, they are so tiny. Yeah, normally when I'm doing this on my own, I have it closer to me, and I usually have my magnifiers on. So anyway, so 3 more. We're coming out of the bottom hole. We're going to go through the top hole. There you go. Pick up 3 more of the 15 O. See, I almost called it 11 O. And then go back through the bottom hole of the bead you're coming out of, back through the next top hole of the next bead, the 11 O seed bead, the top hole of the next Superduo bead, which is this blue one on the right, and then the bottom hole of the top bead. Okay, so you're just working your way back over, following the thread path that's already there, so you can get into position to add the next 3. So this is what you've got so far. 3 on this side, 3 on this side, 3 on each side of that red one, and now we're in position to go 3 on the left-hand side of the blue bead, and then 3 on the right. Okay, so I've got 15 O's. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we're coming out of the bottom hole of the blue Superduo, so we're going to go through the top hole. I think you are following. I hope you are following anyway. So we're just putting the 3 embellishment beads on either side. So again, we're coming out of the top. We're going to go back into the bottom hole. We're going to go the top hole of the next, through that 11 O seed bead, then the top hole of the white, and the bottom hole of the white. And I am really, really impressed that I'm able to get through all of them. I guess because they only have one pass of thread through them. A lot of times you can only do a few at a time. So now we're back to a position where we need to pick up 3 more 15 O seed beads. Whoop, I think that one just flew somewhere. And they're so tiny, they don't make a sound. They just go flying, and they could be anywhere. You don't hear them drop. Okay, 3 more. Drop them down. We're coming out of the bottom hole of the white one. We're going to go through the top hole. Oh, and come back here. And don't stick it under your nail. Alrighty, so 3 more. And I will try to condense this by fast forwarding if I can, so it is not so long. But you know, if I'm not able to because I'm talking or something, please feel free always to fast forward. If you get it, you get it, and move on. You don't have to stick around and listen to me talk. Alrighty, so we've put on those 3. We're coming out of the top. We're going to go back through the bottom of that same bead, through the top hole of the next bead, through the 11 O, through the top of the next Superduo bead, and the bottom hole of the one after that. And pull our thread. Alrighty, so now we're in position to add 3 more of the 15-0s. So we're coming out of the bottom of the red, and we're going to go through the top hole of the red. Pick up 3 more of the 15-0s, and see, that center one looks bigger. That's because it is not a 15-0. That's an 11-0. So we'll get rid of that one. And hopefully, by doing this, I'll be able to sort out those little 11-0s that got mixed in. Now we've got those 3 15-0s, and we're going to go from the top hole of the red bead into the bottom hole of that same bead, through the top hole of the next bead, through the 11, through the top hole of that blue, and then the bottom hole of this blue one. Alrighty, so we're in position to once more pick up 3 15-0s. No, yes, 15-0s. Oh my goodness, this is so confusing. And then we're going to go through the top hole of that bead that we're coming out of. I'm calling it blue. It will be whatever color you choose. So again, pick up 3 15-0s and go through that bottom hole of the blue, the top hole of the next blue, go through the 11, go through the top hole of the next bead, and the bottom hole of the one after that. So, and as you pull, make sure that your beads are falling in line. I've got 3 15-0s coming out of the bottom hole of that bead, going into the top hole, going down through the bottom hole. So now I'm coming out of the bottom hole. Focus, come on, white of the white. I'm going to go through the top hole of the next bead, go through the 11-0, go through the top hole of the next bead, and the bottom hole of the next one. So in position to pick up 3 more 15-0s, excuse me. Pick up 3 15-0s. I had an 11-0 on there, so I'm definitely weeding these out. Okay, and go through that top hole and pick up 3 more, and that's of the 15-0s, and go through the bottom. Seriously, go through the bottom of the same bead that you're coming out of, and go through the top of the next bead, go through that 11, and go through the top of the next bead, which is blue, and then the next bead after that, go through that bottom hole. Okay. So we only have 1 more Superduo to do the embellishment to, and then we're going to work our way back to this red bead, because you want to follow the red, white, and blue pattern, and we'll add the wire guardian and the jump ring, and we're done. Got my 3 15-0s going through the top hole. Got that done. I'm going to pick up 3 more. Okay, got the last 3. We're going to go through that same bead, the hole at the bottom, and then go through the next bead, which is the hole at the top, and the 11, and we'll go through and come out of the next top bead, because we're working our way over to the red. So okay, we're coming out of the bottom hole of this white one. We're going to advance over to the bottom hole of the next group of 3, which is, I'm not going to be able to get through that last one. So I'm going to get through the bottom hole of that top red one. It sounds confusing, doesn't it? This top bead here, we're going through the bottom hole of that bead. Okay, and that's where we are. So we're in position to add our wire guardian. Well, we're getting there, we're almost there. In other words, we need to be coming out of the top of a red grouping here. Alrighty, and like this, I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to come up, I think those, those 3 15-0s on the one side, and then I'm going to go through the top hole of the Superduo, just the Superduo. Okay, this puts me in position to add the wire guardian. So I'm going to pick up the wire guardian. I'm going to put my needle through one side of the wire guardian, and I'm going to, as I did with the earrings, I'm going to embellish the wire guardian by putting 7 of the 15-0s. Okay, I have picked up 7, 3, 3, and 1, so I've got 7 of the 15-0s, and I'm going to now go down the other side of that wire guardian, right? Oh, and I'm losing it. And I'm going to pull my thread. I'm going to set this down, pull my thread. Okay. And that's what we got. Coming out of this side, I'm going to go back down, or back through that red bead, the top of that bead. And that is it. Now this one I must have reinforced a little bit more because this one feels a little sturdier. You are welcome to take your thread back through. Even as you go, you are welcome to put like 2 passes. You know, each time we added a row, you're welcome, like in the beginning when I put the initial 9 on my thread and I went through and gave it a second pass. You're welcome to do that with each round. I'm not going to do that because this one is for demonstration. I already have one. But now at the time, I should have said this before. Before you went down the other side of the wire guardian, if you have a closed jump ring, you always want to add that jump ring on the wire guardian before you attach it to the bead. I am going to, like I said, you could probably go and reinforce these beads by going around one more time. I am just going to show you real quick. I've got my jump ring. I also have one of those rings somewhere, but you grab on one side. It might be hard to tell, but my slit is right at the top, so you want to bend either toward yourself or away from yourself. Never pull a jump ring out. Okay, I might need no, I might do it. So you put your pendant on, and the same way you opened it is how you want to close it. You grab it and you close it. And sometimes you can hear it click. That is closed. You've got a jump ring, and you can put any chain or cord on there to wear. But anyway, that's it. We're done. And my mat really did move all over the place. So this did not work as I had planned. But anyway, so here are our 2. They look identical to me. But you know, as you work these things up, you can use whatever colors, you can embellish it any way you want. You can use the seed beads, not use the seed beads, these little 11-0s in between. These little 11-0s right here in between the two colors. You might want to use maybe another little round bead, a little pearl or something. It's really, make it your own. I always say that, make it your own, whatever you want to do. So anyway, that is the end of this tutorial. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll be back with another video. Hopefully it'll be jewelry. If not, you'll be seeing more of this stuff. Alrighty, well, y'all have a good day. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next video. So until then, bye-bye.